Yes, this is a real screenshot. Yes, this is what I saw this morning. I don't know.
So there is currently a big situation between TommyInnit and Dream and a bunch of the old Dream SMP members, which is kicking off now. If you would like a full rundown on this whole situation so far and how it originally kicked off with mizkif and XQC, I have a playlist currently on the channel called the Dream and TommyInnit situation, so please feel free to go and watch those videos and then come back to this video. If not, I will give you a quick breakdown of what's currently been going on in this whole situation. So on TommyInnit and Jack Maifold's podcast, Tommy spoke about meeting mizkif and how he was one of the worst people he's ever met. You know, it felt like he was kind of being hyperbolic, over-exaggerating. mizkif responded to this, you know, with his own side of the story, right? But again, he was over-exaggerating things, joking around as well. And overall, it just wasn't that serious, right? Just sounded like an awkward encounter that, you know, it just kind of happened. Then XQC ended up reacting to the situation, calling TommyInnit cringe. So then TommyInnit and XQC had a back and forth on Twitter, and then out of nowhere, Dream decided to quote XQC, you know, trying to get in the mud, right? Trying to, like, sling shit at TommyInnit. Now, it's safe to say that this went down like a pile of absolute bricks. People did not like this for the use of the word retard. In my previous video going over this situation, I spent a lot of time focusing on the reactions from fellow content creators, ex-Dream SMP members, and, you know, Dream's own fan base. My stance on the backlash that Dream was facing in regards to what people are deeming the aswell here was that I think it was an overreaction. A very big overreaction. But something that Tubbo said that really resonated with me was the fact that, you know, Dream cultivated this very, very heavily progressive audience where, you know, he built it off the fact of, look, I'm not going to say slurs, I'm a nice guy, we accept everyone here, and then he's thrown that into the mix. So, you know, it was always going to go down badly.
5 years of build-up of him also cultivating, like, an incredibly progressive community.
It was just idiotic for Dream to do here completely, and if you have an actual issue with the quote-unquote use of the aswell here, then, you know, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to stop you there. I've given my stance, you give your stance in the comments, but now let's move on, right? We've covered it in the first video. TommyInnit ended up making a response, right, you know, honing in on the use of the aswell here. I'm going to be very blatant with you, right? I'm on neither side here. I think both Dream and TommyInnit are pathetic wretches. I think TommyInnit has been calling out all these content creators like MrBeast, KSI, mizkif, XQC, Dream, all these other content creators doing this commentary news round thing, right? Because he saw that it did well with Logan Paul initially, and he's kept doing it, right? And that's his prerogative. I think in this situation, like every situation, you should be very honest and open about your thoughts and opinions, and those are my thoughts and opinions, right? I think that both TommyInnit and Dream have got their own critiques to be held, but of course the focus is going to be on Dream, right? Because he's just really fucked himself over here. And you're probably wondering, how has he done this, right? You know, he did a couple of really bad responses, right? Made that meme, deleted them, and kind of disappeared, right? It can't be that bad. Well, he did a really, like, weird response on Reddit, right? Like, I feel like I'm back in 2020, right? A Reddit deleted response has been uploaded to Twitter. Dream and TommyInnit drama, right? This is like 5 years ago again. Genuinely still confused on what the quote-unquote rules are. Now, there really just are no rules when it comes to the word that Dream used. People pick and choose who they get mad at, like, when people use it, right? It comes down to different communities. It's just a whole thing. So I definitely get why that would be confusing, right? You see people say on the internet, no, I'm about an island, you've said it, and absolutely everyone's at your throat. But I think, again, the thing that we have to keep in mind, like Tubbo said, is that he built a very, 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 very progressive and, you know, well, what people will call, like, quote-unquote woke, right, audience. So I'm kind of confused here of him saying, like, I'm genuinely confused, right? I'm baffled by this, right? Like, you knew to some extent that this would cause a bit of issues, but I think that was mainly on, like, the TommyInnit side of things, maybe not the, like, aswell or whatever. But I'm confused, right? Surely he would have, like, gauged his audience by now. Honestly, not trying to be obtuse. Multiple people go viral calling me the R word, and everyone explains that it's okay because they're neurodivergent. So then I see a meme that uses it and post it and get absolutely throttled for. Obviously, it's the internet being disingenuous, but that doesn't completely invalidate anyone that might be upset by it. Most of the people calling me ableist for using it are the same people that lit off fireworks and Nicholas Cantu was slur-slinging slasher, including Tommy's close friends. It's either okay or not okay. The double standards are infuriating. I mean, the first half of Dream's response, it was a bit iffy. Like, you know, he's bringing it back. He's slowly bringing it back. Like, I do get what Dream is saying up till this point, right? But, like, I think as well, right? You posted a meme that says it. You should probably just stand on your ground instead of deleting it, right? That probably made you look 10 times worse, right? And made you look more criticizable. My critiques all come from the fact that this situation makes Dream look just absolutely pathetic. It's weird that he injected himself into the situation in the first place when, you know, he could have injected him into any situation, right? The situation where Dream was, like, recently absolutely shat on by TommyInnit. He could have injected himself there, but he's decided to take this opportunity to inject himself and thought that nothing would would go wrong, right? Like he must have been on something, right, when he did this, because it just makes him look like an idiot. I have my own reasons for having a problem with Tommy going around being the quote-unquote internet police, and was expecting to get a lot of shit for going after poor Tommy that lies about me constantly. But obviously, I had no intentions at attacking every Dreamers and Thief fan or being ableist. It was a dig at Tommy fans because somehow the worst of the worst extreme SMP stands have congregated all to make up lies and shit on other creators, and Tommy feeds right into it to promote Patreon shows book or what Elfie's currently promoting, because he has absolutely no backbone. I definitely agree that TommyInnit, right, is doing this because it did well from originally in the Logan Paul situation. He saw how well it did from in the Logan Paul stuff, and has just kept absolutely going for it, right? It's the reason he's doing a new show, right? He can't be that interested, right? He's not a commentary creator, bro. He likes Minecraft, right? Let's get this straight, right? It just does really well for him. He's continued to do it, right? That's his prerogative. One thing I will say, though, which I don't really agree with here, is that, you know, saying that TommyInnit doesn't have a backbone, regardless if he is doing it for views, money, attention, or whatever he's doing it for, calling out these content creators, you have to have a backbone to at least put yourself in that situation in the first place, or you would just crumble, like, immediately. Either way, my lesson from this is that Twitter is somehow even less reasonable than I thought in the first place. Oh, and don't use the R word under any circumstance, even if you see a funny meme and you're autistic. Lesson learned. Hopefully, I could be forgiven. Back to coding. The ending could have done a little bit of work, right? Oh no, he actually deleted this, right? So again, it's just made him look worse, right? Like overall, this is a pretty good response, right? Like I agree with a lot of things in there. There's a few things, of course, I disagree, and that I've been very vocal of that, but he's deleted it, so it makes him look like a right knob. By him constantly deleting the things that he's vocalizing, right, he just looks even worse. But for example, I don't particularly find the meme that he posted very funny. I think it's bizarre him injecting himself into the situation, right? Got a lot of critiques there, but it would have been 10 times better for him if he just kept that post up instead of deleting it. Tommy did end up making a response to this, but it wasn't only Tommy that's been speaking about this situation, right? I mean, even his own mum's been talking about it. People have been hopping on streams to discuss it. There's quite a few interesting things that have been said in these said streams. One, the thing that I want to get out of the way is Jack Maifold streamed and mizkif called in and like apologized. Like, I think this is really funny that mizkif is like apologized, because the situation is so much bigger than that now, right? It's become like an absolute shit-slinging contest about who can dig up the most stuff about the old Dream SMP stuff, and just exposing all the controversy, and just, you know, kind of capping off all the Dream SMP drama, which has been building slowly for the past like 2 years now.
Hey, listen, it's all look. This whole thing's water under the bridge.
Yeah,
I just wanted to call and say that I'm sorry.
That's fine, man. That's all right. I mean, you know, that's all good.
You know, you know me. You've known me for years. You know that I can be a little bit much in person. You know, I can act up and.
Yeah, I think he was just tired. And I think he didn't want to talk to you. Yeah, I don't think it was that deep. I think we were just trying to do a little funny joke on the podcast. $7 for the Patreon, by the way.
Yeah, I heard it's $7.
$7.
I see your tweets.
Yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to call and say that I'm sorry, and I think in person sometimes I could be a little much, and you know.
So, you know, mizkif stuff done, right? So we've got like dream stuff to focus on now, right? The best part of the situation, arguably, right? Like I'm somebody that has been following the dream stuff, the drama, the Dream SMP stuff, slowly leaking, slowly coming out. It's interesting, right? Because it's been teased, right?
Tom dropped the "If YouTubers Were Honest" video. Dream DM Tom's mum, and was like, I don't exactly know what it says because it was a message, and I'm like, that's a massive overstep of personal boundaries, because like you have friend boundaries and then you have like your inner core circle, and I'm like, from that point on I was like, yeah, okay.
Now this is coming from Tubbo, of course. He hasn't provided any evidence of this, right? So you know, take this however you want to take this, right? But if this is true, this is just weird, right? Just strange behavior from Dream, right? Could you imagine messaging someone's mum about a video they made where they included you? Tubbo said he had a private phone call with Dream and expressed his dislike with him using Tommy's worst time to then weaponize his mum's number, uses doxing to excuse bad behavior, and how some topics in the Dream SMP Discord were inappropriate looking back is the last they spoke. I'm genuinely so interested and invested in like the Dream situation, right, and all the stuff, right? I think it's because it's been shrouded in mystery for so very long, and like everything's been kept very, very secretive. So anything when this comes out, right, when absolute dribbles of information come out, like just lapping it up.
Because also, like, it's not just like a dunk on Tom's community, he's also dunking on his own community. Like
we've established, right, the Dream's a bit of an idiot. But the post overall, right, taking away all people's issues with like the use of the words, right, or whatever, it is a truly baffling post. It's truly baffling to get involved in, right? You could have got a sick own as well.
Had some gripes with certain like inappropriate topics of conversation that happened in the Dream SMP Discord, in like VCs and in VC channels when I was younger, which at the time made me quite uncomfortable, but I was like, oh, this is just because I'm older now and I can be part of these mature conversations. Now I'm older and I look back at that, rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. Like, I don't know.
I'm very interested about this as well, right? Tubbo has put this now out into the world, right? That, you know, this happened. I really want to know what the conversations were that's made him feel like this. There's genuinely one or two ways this situation can go down, right? Is it keeps snowballing, people keep doing things like this, right? More information keeps coming out, and so, you know, the majority of the information comes out, or it just, you know, dies in the water, right? Stays dead. TommyInnit also made, like, a TikTok about this, which, you know, it was a TikTok about this, but then there's one thing I've got to address, right? Somebody's now saying that TommyInnit is, in fact, the ableist one here. I know, shocking revelation here. Apparently, for like flapping his hand about, right? Like, you know, certain phrases that are included, right? And it's so stupid because it's meant to make him look like an idiot, not like disabled. Like, TommyInnit isn't mocking disabled people here. And I think this quote's weird, right? Sums up how the majority of people are feeling and how just fucking absurd this is. Like, I'm very invested in this situation, right? I'm very interested to see where this goes, right? But I forget how chronically online, right? And just absolutely, utterly ridiculous this side of the internet is in terms of the fan bases. Like, it's very frustrating and annoying to watch these people squirm about. But thank you everybody for watching today's YouTube video. What's your thoughts on this whole situation? Whose side are you leaning towards? Please feel free to comment that all down below. And once you're down there, you might as well subscribe, right? There's no reason not to. So, you know, you'll get caught up on all the dream drama, all the other situations going on. But I've been your host, Samuel, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube video.